A rookie just scored their first podium in the most chaotic way possible. Max Verstappen put on a masterclass that had his home crowd losing their minds. The championship math just went completely sideways, and we're talking about title implications that nobody saw coming. But wait, it gets crazier. Andrea Kimi Antonelli was apparently shopping for penalties like it was Black Friday, then decided to add Charles Leclerc to his cart for good measure. The safety car rolled out 3 times like it was the star of its own show. This wasn't just a race. This was the moment everything changed. The championship sledgehammer just swung in a direction because after 71 laps of pure madness at Zandvoort, we're in completely uncharted territory. Let's dive into how one Sunday afternoon in the Netherlands just rewrote the entire F1 season. Lewis Hamilton found the barriers at Zandvoort. The crash itself? Spectacular in its simplicity. Coming through the high-speed section, Hamilton just lost it. No dramatic wheel-to-wheel battle, no ambitious dive bomb gone wrong. Just human error. The safety car emerged and suddenly the timing was surgical in its cruelty. Charles Leclerc had just pitted moments before Hamilton's crash, what looked like another routine Ferrari strategy call until it became the move that destroyed his entire race. While other drivers were still running their extended stints, enjoying free track position, Leclerc had just burned through his pit window for nothing. Ferrari's pit wall went dead silent, because once again their timing was catastrophically wrong. When that safety car deployed, everyone else got the gift Ferrari had just thrown away, a free pit stop. Meanwhile, Leclerc already pitted and watching his rivals get handed exactly what he'd just paid dearly for. The timing couldn't have been worse for the Ferrari driver. He just completed his stop when Hamilton found the wall, instantly giving every other car on track a free pit window. While his rivals celebrated their strategic windfall, Charles was left to salvage whatever he could from Ferrari's latest masterclass in wrong place, wrong time strategy. Lewis Hamilton's troubles are set to continue into the next race weekend. A 5-place grid penalty for failing to slow down under yellow flags will be applied at the upcoming Grand Prix in Monza, Ferrari's home Grand Prix, turning what could have been a fresh start into another uphill battle before he even gets to the grid. That's the Ferrari curse. Let's examine Max Verstappen's performance because his start deserves to be a masterclass example. Moving from P3 to P2 before reaching Tarzan Corner. That's the type of maneuver that leaves competitors reconsidering their abilities. Verstappen continued his strategic approach while others scrambled with their safety car tactics. Max remained analytical, as always. He understood the circuit wouldn't permit conventional overtaking maneuvers, not in these ground effect cars that lose 50% of their downforce the moment you get within sniffing distance of another car's gearbox. This showcased Max's tactical brilliance. He avoided risky on-track passes because he didn't need them. Instead, he executed a patient strategy, conserving his tyres methodically, recognizing that in modern F1, track position reigns supreme, and pit strategy becomes your primary weapon. The home podium was essentially secured after that opening lap. What made it remarkable wasn't simply the achievement, but his execution. Composed, strategic, seemingly unfazed by the surrounding pandemonium. While Hamilton encountered trouble, Antonelli accumulated penalties, and Norris faced his own challenges. Max simply focused on driving. The defining element, composure. In a chaotic race, Verstappen remained the calm centre of the storm. Now for something completely different and utterly beautiful. Isaac Hadjar scored his first ever Formula One podium at Zandvoort, in what was an incredible breakthrough performance for the young driver. This wasn't supposed to happen. RB doesn't get podiums at power tracks. They especially don't get them with drivers who most fans still can't pronounce correctly. It's Hadjar, by the way, not Hadjar. But this wasn't about luck or chaos. This was about raw pace. Hadjar followed Verstappen within 3 seconds for the entire race, matching the world champion's rhythm lap after lap. When others were struggling with tyre degradation or losing ground, the French driver was there, lurking, waiting. What made it even more impressive was the composure. No rookie mistakes, no moment of panic when the pressure mounted. Just clinical, methodical driving that had the RB garage erupting like they'd won the championship. Red Bull's driver program suddenly looks very, very interesting for 2026, especially with Hadjar proving he can run with the very best when it matters. Oh, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the Mercedes wonder kid who was supposed to be the future. Instead, he gave us a masterclass in how to destroy your race in under 30 minutes. First came the contact with Leclerc, just pure rookie mistake. The stewards didn't even need to discuss it. 10-second penalty, boom! But wait, there's more! As if the racing gods decided one penalty wasn't enough humiliation for one afternoon, Antonelli then got caught speeding in the pit lane. 5 more seconds added to his tally. That's 15 seconds of penalties in a race where track position meant everything. The pressure on this kid was astronomical. Mercedes had been hyping him as the next Hamilton, literally using those words in press releases. Officially, Mercedes called it a learning experience. But paddock insiders were already questioning whether throwing a rookie into the deep end of the 2025 season, especially at a track as unforgiving as Zandvoort, was tactical genius or tactical suicide. Lando Norris, DNF Zandvoort. 3 words that might have just ended Norris's driver championship dreams. The retirement itself was almost anticlimactic. A suspected hydraulics failure that left him stranded at turn 7 like a beached whale. No smoke, no fire, just a very expensive orange car becoming a very expensive orange decoration. But let's talk about what this really means for Lando Norris. Coming into Zandvoort, he was within striking distance in the Drivers' Championship. The momentum was building. The gap was closing. The championship math is now brutal for Norris. Before Zandvoort, the title fight felt alive. Mathematical possibility turning into genuine hope. But he walked away with nothing while Piastri claimed maximum points. What makes it sting more is the timing. This was supposed to be the weekend where Norris proved he belonged in a championship conversation. Instead, it became the weekend where his teammate reminded everyone that talent doesn't always follow the expected hierarchy. It was a statement that the future of McLaren might not be what everyone assumed. On the other side of the garage, Oscar Piastri delivered his first career Grand Slam at Zandvoort. Pole position, fastest lap, leading every single lap, and taking the victory. At just his 3rd season in Formula One, the Australian showed exactly why McLaren fought so hard to secure his signature. This wasn't just dominance, it was a masterclass in racecraft. From the moment the lights went out, Piastri controlled every aspect of the race. While chaos erupted behind him, he maintained perfect tyre management, hit his marks lap after lap, and never gave anyone behind him even a sniff of an opportunity. McLaren's decision to prioritise Piastri's development over immediate results is already paying dividends. This Grand Slam wasn't a fluke, it was an announcement. The kid from Melbourne has arrived and he's not going anywhere. Red Bull and Ferrari should be taking notes. This is what the future of Formula One looks like. Carlos Sainz was having one of those quietly effective races, the kind that secures vital points when others are making mistakes, running P6, managing his tyres carefully, executing a patient strategy. Then came lap 34, turn 3, and a moment Carlos would rather forget. Contact with Lawson. The stewards ruled Sainz was at fault for causing a collision. 10-second penalty. What made this particularly painful? The incident was completely avoidable. Sainz was on the outside line but had space to work with. However, in trying to hold his position against Lawson's attack, he moved across too aggressively. The kind of unforced error you don't expect from a driver with 150-plus race starts. The radio exchange was revealing. Sainz immediately protested Lawson's move. His engineer stayed silent for 7 long seconds before delivering a simple, crushing response. Copy, Carlos. Penalty incoming. For Carlos, this represented another missed opportunity in his fight for championship points. Williams' post-race statement mentioned unfortunate circumstances 4 times. When you're battling in the midfield, that's code for we can't afford these mistakes. While his teammate was imploding, Alex Albon was quietly executing one of the drives of the season. P5 at Zandvoort. In a Williams. Let that sink in. A Williams, the same Williams that's been struggling to even score points consistently. The same Williams that James Vowles admitted was fundamentally flawed just 3 races ago. But Albon doesn't care about your expectations. He drove like a man possessed, or rather like a man who's learned that in modern F1, being invisible is a superpower. No heroics, no diving up the inside, no send-it moments. Just pure clinical racecraft. The Thai driver's strategy was brilliantly simple. Let everyone else destroy themselves. When Hamilton crashed, Albon was there to inherit. When Sainz got his penalty, Albon slipped by. When Antonelli was serving his time penalties, Albon just kept accumulating positions like a savings account, accumulating interest. The paddock insiders are already whispering. Is this the drive that finally gets Albon the recognition he deserves from the top teams? Here's the uncomfortable truth about Zandvoort 2025. We witnessed the death of racing as we know it. Not a single significant overtake happened on track after lap 1. Not one. Every position change came from pit stops, penalties, or retirements. The undercut was the way. The safety car was the racing god, and actual wheel-to-wheel racing? That was the court jester relegated to watching from the sidelines. Even Albon's charge to P5? Not a single on-track pass for position. Sainz dropping back? Penalty. Antonelli falling through the field? Penalties. This is what the end of the ground effect era looks like. The 2026 regulations can't come soon enough. So where does this leave us? In absolute chaos, that's where. The 2025 Dutch Grand Prix will go down in history as the race where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Unless you were Alex Albon or Isaac Hadjar, in which case you probably should buy a lottery ticket. What do you think? Was this the most chaotic race of the ground effect era? Did we just witness the race that defined or destroyed the 2025 championship? And seriously, how did both Hadjar and Albon end up ahead of both Ferraris? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of F1's most chaotic weekend, hit subscribe, because with 9 races left and everything still to play for, you won't want to miss what happens next. The championship isn't over, but after Zandvoort 2025, it might as well be written in orange.